I'm Tim James, and I have Danny Ray with us. And Danny Ray is one of the best life agents that I know of. And so I want to introduce Danny Ray. So, hey, Danny, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Tim. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, brother. So, Danny, could you tell me how you got into the insurance space?
I've been goes back to the early 90s, really. I got into the insurance investment business back early, I would say 93, 94, like
Yeah,
almost 30 years ago. And basically I was young. I was a young father in my late teens, early 20s. And how what happened was a friend of mine from high school had stopped by that I haven't seen in about a year, pulls up in a Corvette, brand new Corvette, 10 grand in his pocket. I'm like, what are you doing? He's in investment insurance business. So I went there and passed my test and everything else. And I did investments and corporate finance for many, many years. There's not a thing I've not sold over the phone, whether it be, gold, stocks, debt consolidation, loan modification, you name it, I've done it over the phone. In the last 10 years, I would say 10, 11 years, I've been 100% in the insurance space, all 100% over the phone, telesales. So I started back in when I jumped into the insurance business again, life insurance telesales. I was at SelectQuote. I became their top agent at SelectQuote, and I broke off from them because I didn't believe in a lot of things they did. And I went and started Pinnacle Quote. And off basically our mission statement is put the client first, period. So that was back in 2017. And I've been 100% totally independent, marketing, everything since then.
that's awesome. So, 100% telesales. Are you primarily only selling life, or do you sell other products?
No, that's a good question. Life, term, IULs, ULs, GULs, you name it. Final expense. We're primarily most of our business is final expense now in critical illness. Okay, really focusing on the senior markets. I think they really need the direction, especially in this day and age with commercials getting shoved in front of their face, whether it's Medicare or final expense. It's always a direct consumer product that's just not good for them. So we do the approach of educating them, no pressure sale, really just sitting back and answering every question they have so they can make an appropriate decision. And then that's what we built our model on, pretty much.
That's awesome. So you had a lot of experience doing telesales before you found insurance.
Yes.
And so tell me, I think I saw somewhere that you worked for Jordan Belfort. Is that right?
Yeah, that's we'll go back again. We'll go back in time again. In 1994, okay, when I first jumped into the investment insurance business, okay, I was a cold caller at Stratton Oakmont, 1955. What was it? Marcus Avenue. I think it was in Lake Success, if I remember right. And that's when I originally learned the straight line pitch. Back then, it wasn't even called that. It was, and again, it wasn't like me and Jordan were buddies. We hung out. That's not the case. He was the owner of the firm and he had about 400 people there. Right. So a lot of people confuse that because I've had people think I was Daniel Porish from the movie. No, that's not the case. So that's happened quite often. But that's where my foundation was, the very simple approach of selling over the phone, keeping it simple, get to the point, really let the client talk more than you, ask good questions, button your lip, and they'll give you the blueprint how to close them or how to sell them. You just have to ask good questions. That's the main thing in sales. A lot of times agents, they think it's the reverse. They got to talk too much. When a sale over the telephone is literally 90% tonality, voice inflection, asking good questions, and then listening to the client, and then giving them what they ultimately what they want, what they need. Not the max sale, try to do the max offer and stuff like that. But what do you need, Mr. Jones? Let's figure this out. And it's a conversation. I tell a lot of agents it's like walking down the beach, skipping rocks with a client, just having a conversation. That's all this is. It's not a sale. Don't put pressure on yourself. So it's more so just having a conversation like a friend, and just finding out what they want, what their needs are, and just filling those gaps for them. you know?
I 120% agree with you. I think a lot of people, especially people switching from face to face to telesales, they overcomplicate it.
Yep.
It's just this pressure. And
Yeah.
another thing I've noticed with insurance agents is call reluctancy. So it's like they have like a bad a bad few days where
Yep.
they're just getting hung up on and yelled at, and then it just gets in their head. How do
Yeah.
you combat call reluctancy?
That's a great question. And you're absolutely, you nailed it right there. A lot of it's all about mindset and how you approach the business. Okay. Obviously when you're face to face, you're going out in your car all day, you make appointments, people no shows and things of that nature, but you get that physical contact, right? In telesales, you have to literally walk into it with acceptance. That's a big word in this, acceptance, accepting that, okay, I'm going to use 10 leads as an example. You get 10 leads a day. You got to tell yourself, you know what? Number one, I'm not going to close everybody. I don't care how good I am. Just not going to happen. Okay. You have to go into the day of, well, you know what? I'm searching for the 3 to 5 people that I want to speak to. Everybody else is just getting out of the way. I just got to shake the tree, let the dead leaves fall out. So I think if you have, it's definitely a mindset, and that's what I teach in my master class that I give I have for agents. Is first and foremost is mindset. That's the foundation, and you have to approach each day with acceptance. Okay, I'm not going to close everybody on the phone. All right, I'm going to get an FU here. I'm going to get somebody that just wants to think about it. That's fine. I got to get through those to get to the 3 to 5 people that I want to speak to that we can connect with. And out of those 3 to 5 people, I'll write 2 to 4 deals. And that's what the mental focus has got to be. You're going to get hung up on. It's just you just got to brush it off, move forward, you know?
Kind of funny. It's actually kind of funny. If you look at it like a game,
yeah.
where when the more angry they get, the funnier it is. It really helps you detach yourself.
Yeah. Really important, man.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay. So sales, call reluctance. Now, as you know, people talking to an insurance agent that is brand new to the industry, okay, there is a lot of bad information out there. There's a lot of getting over on other people. What advice would you give to a brand new, like just licensed insurance agent that wants to start selling life insurance, and where to go and what direction to take?
That's a great question. First and foremost, don't listen to 90% of the agents out there. Okay. Don't listen to an agent that hasn't done it themselves. Everybody wants to talk. Nobody wants to do the walk, right? So you got to find somebody that is experienced, that's well-known in the business. Okay. A mentor that knows the business, period, to direct you. The worst thing in the world that I see agents going through is they get pulled in 25 different directions. They don't know which way is up or down. They're saying this is the best leads, that is the best leads. The bottom line is most of the leads in the industry that you get from an IMO, most of them, not all of them, are watered down leads that get resold 20 times to different agents. And they tell you it's an exclusive lead. Tell you they'll sell your parents, sell your family members. I've never sold one policy to my family. Okay. I've never sold. I mean, very rarely do I ever sold to my friends, you know? So they really have to find a good mentor. They have to listen to somebody that does the business correctly. Again, worst thing in the world is listening to 9, 10, 15, 20 different agents that are at the same level as you, and they're all speaking at both sides of their face. You know, it is. It's nothing negative to say about agents, but they all want to have the answer, and most of them don't have it. So it's really finding a mentor, somebody that has a track record of success in the business, plug into them, learn from them, channel out the noise. Okay. A lot of agents are wrong. They just don't know. They know what their manager told them. Okay. And they're going to go through it and they explain it to you like it's gospel, you know, and it's not, it's watered down. So a new agent coming to the business, do your homework. Don't jump from IMO to IMO to IMO. Just try to stay away from the 3-letter acronyms best as possible. Those are just multi-level marketing companies. They make more money off the leads than they do you right in business. And just try to find the pioneers in the business that do, whether it's face-to-face, telesales or commingle with both. There's a few out there that do both. So it's just listening to the right people and
Yeah,
staying
absolutely.
away from the noise,
Absolutely. Now, so one of the things I see, especially with agents that are selling final expense, is I see obviously trying out a bunch of different lead vendors.
Mhm.
And I see a lot of times agents get chargebacks and then they like go broke, or they'll switch contracts or carriers. They'll start selling different insurance companies, and then they get themselves into this huge mess.
Yeah.
So that being said, lead source is really important, and then how you qualify the lead, right? You don't want to take just any person.
You know what
Can
the
you
phone book.
tell? Right, exactly. Can you tell me, like, for a new agent, what's a good approach for generating leads and ensuring that you have the highest probability that most of your clients are not going to charge back?
See, that's a good question. That's a really good question. When it comes to generating your own leads, here's the problem and the challenge behind that. All right, when you're a new agent coming to the business, you can't be an expert at selling life insurance and an expert at marketing. There are a very few that can do it. I was able to do it. Okay, sell at a high level, right, $50,000 to $100,000 a month, and do all your marketing. Okay, very difficult to do. I have yet to see maybe one or two other agents that can do that. Okay, out of hundreds. So when you walk into the business thinking you're going to be a professional marketer and a professional salesperson, it's just very difficult to do. So what you got to do as a new agent, and I'll get into the leads in a second, is you got to focus on being the best at selling. Without selling, none of it works. You can have the best marketing in the world, but if you can't get on the phone and close somebody, it's a waste of time. So you got to become really, really good at selling, whether it's telesales or face to face. Again, going back to the person, the mentor that you pick. All right. As far as marketing is concerned, I'm very big in marketing. You probably know that. Every lead that I call is mine. It's my brand. I don't buy leads. I don't from anybody, from a vendor. I used to do partnerships years ago with very high performing websites. Okay. That used to get 40, 50 leads a day. And I'd partner with them, or they'd call me and want me to write business for them. Those days are over, right? So marketing right now as an agent, once you get experience and you're in the green. In other words, the amount of money you spend a month, whether it's buying from a vendor, okay, you're making enough money with chargebacks because that's part of the business, and you're in the green. So now you have a profitable business. Remember, you can't walk in on this a life insurance. This is a business. You got to visualize a building. Like, this is your business. This is a corporation that you're building. This is how I approach this. So it's all profit and losses. So if you're a profitable business, then you go out and do something. Then you start working on something else. Marketing right now for new agents, once you get sales under your belt and everything else, social media is pretty easy to do. Me personally, I like long form. I don't like the Facebook leads where they fill out the form themselves and it's populated. I don't do that stuff. I do branded call to action off the website to the to my brand or my landing page. They see rates, they fill out the information. So I filter all that stuff out. So for an agent for marketing, me personally, I would only go to 2 or 3 different vendors in the business, primarily one. If you're doing telesales, if you have to purchase leads, but then again, it's really social media. That's usually the path with less resistance. But then, depending on how you generate that lead on social media, okay, there's going to be a lot of activity you have to put in. Okay, so you can get $3 leads. It's easy. Just put it free in your ad copy. You'll get everybody's calling you. Everyone's something that's free. Even when they click on the ad, they don't even know what it is. You'll be talking to people like that. But that's a lot of time and effort you're putting in for a smaller return. So to generate leads, you can do the SEO route. I always highly recommend, even if you're new, build a website for yourself. You need something. If you're looking at longevity in this business, you need a website. Start it as soon as possible, because 6-7 years down the road, people can find you online, clients that you have already. Learn a little bit of SEO, do local SEO if you're a face-to-face person. I mean, it's such a such a broad range of generating your own leads. But it all comes down to you have to know how to sell on the phone. That should be your priority number one. Find a lead source, stick with it. One that's good, and I know a couple that if I had to buy leads, I know who I would buy them from, if I had to. All right, I haven't bought a lead in 6 years, or partnered with anybody in 6 years. So, but again, most important thing for a new agent, you have to get great at sales. Don't try to do 2 or 3 different things at once. It's the ingredient to fail. Okay, and 19 out of 20 agents, if they try that business model, 19 of them are going to fail.
Yes.
So,
and
get great at sales first.
Don't buy leads overseas. That's another really big one.
No, call centers overseas, and I get 3 or 4 of these guys calling me every single day. And then when I talk to them, every now and then, if I have a couple of minutes, I'll talk to them, and they'll learn something from me. But these are kicking down the door guys. Person that calling, they don't even know. They don't. First and foremost, the TCPA violations. You got to be careful about those. None of these guys are bonded. None of these guys are calling, scraped, do not call lists. You don't know who you're calling. And there are a lot of ambulance chases, attorneys that sit back all day that fill out faulty lead forms and wait for people to call them. All right. And if you don't got a TCPA disclosure on your quota, they got you. They extort money from you. You got to be careful out there. You can't just be taking, especially overseas. Okay. You just gotta, I've seen people get fined 10, 15 grand, because they just gave somebody a shot, so you just got to be really, really careful. Cheap leads are exactly that, cheap. So you get cheap results.
Yep.
So
yeah, absolutely. So that's interesting. So, let me ask you this, Danny. What does your referral request process look like? Is that something you do after you close your client? Tell me what that looks like to you.
Referrals, I'm a big believer in don't beg referrals. I don't do that. Okay. My biggest thing when I get on the phone with a client, give them what they need, give them a good experience, give them a really good experience. And then when they leave, when they go to Trustpilot and they give me a review, it's a 5-star. They tell me exactly what the pleasures were and the experience they had. All right. And then automations. Okay. I have built out custom CRM. Okay. Over the last 5 months, literally on the fly. So my clients get emails automated during work, specific workflows where they're getting stuff like that. And they have family members call me. I don't really give me a referral. You owe me a referral. I used to do stuff like that. But the referrals, when somebody calls me and says, Judy gave me your number, that's a sale. That's a sale. That's not me calling up. You give me a list of names. Let me call you up. I mean, it works for some people. I'm just telling you how I do referrals. Okay. So I'm not the one to say, give me 5 names. You got a referral for me. I let my client give me the referrals. Okay. Without asking. But again, there's a process how you do it for them to want to give it to you. And again, it comes down to just a tremendous experience they have on the phone with you, where they get off the phone and they're like, if you look at some of the Trustpilot reviews for me, it all say the same thing. Took his time, just really cared. Never experienced this before. It was a breath of fresh air talking to Danny. The list, this is pretty much, the reviews I get, so when you do that kind of service, okay, and again, you give them an experience, a really good experience, they're just going to say, call Danny. So, and I sometimes when I do the button up at the end of the call, okay, I'll tell them, once you get the policy in your hands, okay, I want you to really think to yourself, that Danny Ray, did a great job. And this way, if you're in front of friends, relatives, family members, anybody mentions the word life insurance, who's the first name you're going to mention? They say my name. So my button up, that's what I get from them. Danny Ray, exactly. So I make them say it without me having to say, you give Danny Ray a call, tell him to give me a call, stuff like that. And also, we send out a really, really good welcome pack for my agency. It has a magnet that goes in the refrigerator. Now, again, family members come over, who's Danny Ray? And that opens up the door to explain to them, well, Danny is my insurance agent. And then they tell them about the review and experience they have. Next thing you know, the family member calls me. So a lot of the referrals we have are completely organic, completely organic.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So you've been building out your CRM over the last 5 months. Tell me what that's been like for you.
Listen, man, I love it. I get goosebumps talking about it. All right, because in this industry for years, you know what, whether you have Vanilla Soft, and I can name 10 others, Soho, it doesn't matter. An IMO CRM, they're all missing something, right? They're all missing something. Either they don't got the sunroof, they don't got the wing on the back, they don't got the supercharger under the hood. They're all missing something. So GHL, you're very familiar with GHL. I sat back, I think it was about a year ago. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll jump into this. Start building one. At that time, they didn't have an HTTP posting. You couldn't post with an HTTP. You had to do Facebook short form. You had to pretty much do that. Now you're able to do the HTTP post. So once I realized that, okay, I jumped right into it. And in May, end of April, beginning of May, I sat down and I literally reverse engineered the CRM, like literally jumped on the phone, started making phone calls. Okay. And at every client reaction, I would stop, I would build a reaction and a workflow. And I mean, literally on the fly, like reverse engineering a CRM from a guy that produces. Okay. So for me, that is like a CRM, you can't 100% automate a CRM. Because you have client interaction, right? You can't 100% automate it. You could get to 99, 98%, but there's got to be some sort of actions that you have to do. So along the way, and now 6 months later? All right, now, I mean, I just started my 100-day march in August, and I used the CRM the entire time. It's the best CRM I ever had. I still tweak it. Every actionable offense you can, reaction to a client you can think of is in it now. It's just wonderful, and it just it does almost everything. Like, not only that, just the subscriptions. I used to spend $3,000 to $4,000 a month on subscriptions of the third-party subscriptions. I got that under $1,500 now because of the GHL CRM.
Yeah, so, and I tell people this all the time: when you buy a resold version of High Level, what you're really buying is that person's sales process and their marketing process.
Yep.
It's a clone, it's an extension of what they do, because there's a million variations of how you can have everything fire off, right? So that's a really important thing. I always tell people that, like, if you're not going directly to High Level and you're going to buy a reseller, you need to know who is the brains behind it, and what does their sales process look like.
And a lot of the times it's not even an agent. Right. It's not even somebody that's done the business.
Yep.
They're just building something that they think might work.
Right.
And that's the big. See, my CRM is built from the teachings of the masterclass that I have. Okay, that teaches call schedule, everything from mindset to sales automation to everything. So everything in that masterclass, I built the CRM because the masterclass is me. It's just everything, how I approach the business, how I look at things, the proper call schedules, the automations, the complete sales process. Everything in the masterclass is built into the CRM exactly how it's taught in the masterclass. The CRM is me, the masterclass is me, and it's just it's a breath of fresh air knowing that everything in that in the CRM is to my specifications and how I can sell at a high level, and it accommodates me as if there's a butler walking around next to me all day long. Just you know what I mean? It's just I wish I would have done it years ago. I really do. Very, very happy with it. Yeah, and it's fun because you can just add it in every single product. Critical illness, annuities. You can do anything if you know how to do it. Yep. It's highly scalable too. If other agents want it. So potentially it could be a revenue stream too. So, but if it's helping other agents, then it's a win-win for everybody.
100%. And there's been a big, and I, my company, Builder Sessions, that's kind of what we what we aim to do is to empower insurance agents
Yeah.
and teach them how to build and go high level, how to build
Yeah.
marketing campaigns and all those things. And what's cool about it is that everything that you do, you can save and then shoot it out to other people, so they can just pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
Speaking of technology, all right, so tell AI, like I know, okay, where do you think AI is going to take the insurance space in the next 5 years? What do you think is going to happen? I mean, I don't want to be doom and gloom.
No, that's a good question, because I'll tell you right now, when it was a year ago that ChatGPT just sticking their heads up. You know what I mean? 13 months ago, nobody knew what ChatGPT was. And look how far it's gone, and look how much tentacles are in everything now. AI, it shocks me more and more every week and month. I use AI a lot in my business now, a lot. Multiple solutions that I use. There's something called Gale coming out, and I'm sure you're familiar with that. You've seen it, and it's insurance AI. Okay, the AI had to actually pass the insurance test. A lot of people are like, oh, it's going to take my business. I really can't see the emotional element being out of the picture. I just don't see that. AI doesn't have an emotional. Who knows? It might be able to learn it. But at the end of the day, I just think the way the bots are now, Sintra. I mean, there's so many different things now that, and again, next week will be something else that I think in 5 years from now, you might just be a programmer, man. You might just be a programmer. There's something that has to oversee what AI is doing. Also, they need somebody that's held accountable when they do something wrong, because AI can be taught to do something wrong, right? So that's where the human element must be interacted in that. You can teach AI to do good things and bad things. You can teach AI to sell a certain product, and it'd be bad for the client and good for you. So that's why there's always got to be some sort of accountability. All right, it was AI. It was AI. There's going to be a human accountability. So as long as there's human accountability, because you can't blame an AI, right? There's got to be somebody behind that. A human, an agent, has to be involved with the process. I just don't see it. I mean, again, a lot of agents get scared of AI. They think that's going to be the business going to be done. But I just think that insurance companies, that you got to look at from their point of view, it would save them money. They can just do it themselves, right? But I think the regulation and AI, there could be bad things that AI could be used for. So I think when they have three parties or not an arm length relationship, I think they'll stick to that. Regulations will stick to that. So I that's my belief anyway. But again, I mean, AI, it works. It moves so fast. I mean, I remember I was putting together a 5-part YouTube video on AI and how to implement it in your business. By the time I got done with the third one, the first one was obsolete. It was just it was moving so fast. So I just completely scrapped the 5 because it didn't add value. I would be teaching agents how to do something when 3 weeks later it'd be outdated. Something newer is out. So I pulled the plug on that, because then I just sat back, and that's when I started building the CRM. And I just sat back and I just paid attention to what was going on in the industry. I disengaged for a while, for a few months, because I just wanted to see and get gauged. Because if I'm ever going to offer advice to an agent, it's going to be something I did myself and it works. Right. That's the only time I ever consult an agent or give them suggestions, as if I did it myself. I don't ever just, this is good, you should try it. Like A-setters. I'm your biggest cheerleader because I did it and it worked, and I got just significant results. Anything I do is like that. New quoter that's coming out now, all right, for life insurance agents. Quoplicity. That'll be on every one of my websites. Brian Greenberg and Tim Nolan. They're coming out with that product that's going to pretty much revolutionize quoters on websites. I've been proud to be beta testing that for them, and it's going to be on my website within a week, every page, just giving the client more interaction, So again, that's something that I will do a review on, because it's something that I believe in, and I think agents will get a lot of value out of it. So
For sure. For sure. And honestly, I think by the time AI could possibly replace insurance agents, it will have replaced everyone else. So
absolutely. Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah.
a window of time right now.
Yep.
I believe this is like we've discovered gold, right? And there's a
Yep.
window of time to take advantage of it. And then, by the time it gets replaced, who knows, we'll all just be there'll be world peace and hopefully.
Yeah. And here's another thing. I mean, they might want to overregulate it, and
Right.
that'll kill it right there. Once they see something, once something happens when they didn't want happening because of AI, they just it's because again, it's evolving. It just evolves on a daily basis. It's crazy, man. How
Oh,
this
have you seen Hyperwrite? You ever heard of Hyperwrite?
hyper rate. What is that? No, I don't think so.
Oh man, this will scare you. So Hyperwrite it's an AI tool that it was similar to like Jasper AI, like it's like
Okay.
for like writing, and but they released a personal assistant that basically is a Chrome extension, and you can give access to your browser and you can tell it to do tasks, and it will do those tasks on your behalf.
Really? See again. See,
Yes.
it's another thing. Just
Yeah.
another one.
Right. Right.
That I'm going to check out because I'm big on putting systems efficiency. I'm big on efficiency, and this is
Yeah.
the kind of stuff is big making things extremely efficient, which saves you time. The more time you spend on better things, more money you make. But no, I'm
Yeah.
looking at it right now.
Yeah. It's not 100% there. I mean, I'd say it's about 50%.
Yeah,
The point I'm making is we're going to have autonomous agents that
yeah,
are going to be able to clean up our emails, do Facebook mark, whatever it is. I mean, that's where
yeah,
we're heading.
yeah.
Um,
It's and you really got to in this business, you really got to get good at prompts. Now,
yeah,
if you're using ChatGPT, you gotta know how to ask it in the prompts and everything else. And again, ChatGPT it intertwines in everything. Hyperwrite. I mean, everything's ChatGPT's in everything. So I tell agents all the time, if you're not using that daily, you're never gonna catch up. You just never. You got the traditional way of doing things where you're writing your own emails, you're sending your own text messages. How much time that way? You can spend 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes sending an email to a client, you know, based off of rates you're sending them, a follow up, whatever the case may be. When my CRM or AI can do it in a millisecond, the text message goes out, emails goes out. So again, agents really got to embrace AI and use certain systems to help their marketing and just their overall efficiency daily. You have to, man. Time is money.
yep.
And if you're not, your competitor is, and you're falling behind.
That's right. That's right. VAs, AI, and automations are gonna,
Yeah.
it'll take up one person, and you can, do volume like an agency.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's a lot of opportunity. There is a lot of opportunity right now in the
And I
insurance
think the
industry.
value too, an exit strategy value, building an appropriate system that somebody can plug into,
Right.
or a VC company or an agency or an IMO can plug into, and it's scalable. That's a huge, huge value for an agent that maybe wants to exit one day. You got to build out a system that it's valuable. Okay. So that's important too, for us dinosaurs in the industry. you know, you know. But yeah, no, it's amazing, man, what the industry is. And again, it's amazing what happened last year, but wait until you see what happens in the next 6 months, man. And then a year from there. It's like you said before, where is it going to be in 5 years?
Yeah.
It's amazing stuff that's going on.
Well, I saw a study, or yes, there was a study, and I don't know the direct source. It's just something I heard, but basically, what I heard was man's knowledge has doubled every 100 years since, like, I don't know, like since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Every 100 years it's doubled, and then in the 1900s it was like every 30 years, right? And
Yep.
then right around then it became in the 90s like every year, and
Yeah.
now it's with AI, it's like every month, and it's going to be like every day.
It's
So, you know,
mind blowing, really.
yeah, it's insane.
Mind blowing. It's crazy. It really is crazy. Right down to the videos, and It's just everything that it can do now. It's just, it does everything. There's not a thing that you can think of right now that it's not doing, or give it 5 minutes. Give it 5 minutes, you know. So yeah, man, it's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Danny, I really, really appreciate you hopping on with me. I think this will be very valuable to a lot of agents. Can you tell me, are you still doing your master class, and is our agents, where would they go to get that?
Yeah. So the masterclass right now, I switched it up to, it's now called a life telesales mindset and sales mastery course. What I did was I took out the lead gen mechanism inside the pack, because I just think, going back to we spoke to before, having a new agent learn sales and then give them a marketing tool, they're just like this, you know, get good at sales first. So you go to lifetelesales.com. Okay. And what we did for just the mindset and also the complete sales process. Okay. We dropped the price down to it's price of one app, the right one app, the commissions you make on one app. And then we added a 40% discount for it for new agents. So you'll learn exactly how I sell, my sales process, everything from mindset all the way through the sales process, rebuttals, everything. For $504 a month. I mean, $504 overall for life. So not a month. All right. So one time, it's a price of an app, and I guarantee you guys you'll be writing multiple apps more just a week on a weekly basis. But you go to lifetelesales.com. We just revamped it. We made we actually built it out in GHL. We moved it from Thinkific to GHL. Makes it a lot easier.
Yep.
All right. Now I'm more engaged now with agents now, because they could just text message me and message me or email me. It's right through the system. But lifetelesales.com. Yeah. And you know, it's I've had over 300 agents take that course, and never had it helped every single one of them. So
awesome, brother. Yeah, we'll put the link certainly under this. Yeah. So, man, well, I appreciate it. And if you need anything, let me know, man. And I hope you have a great day.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Tim.
Hey, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Later, buddy.
Bye, buddy. Bye.